All right, let's talk about something real. You're showing up, you're putting in the work at the gym, but what if I told you that you might be accidentally undoing all that effort? Well, in this explainer, we're going to break down the 10 most common mistakes that are secretly killing your muscle growth.
You know the feeling, right? It is so frustrating. You're consistent, you're sweating, but the mirror just isn't showing you the results you're working for. It can feel like you're just spinning your wheels. Well, guess what? We're going to fix that, starting right now. Okay, be honest. Does this quote hit a little too close to home? If it does, don't worry. You might be making one of the biggest mistakes in the book without even knowing it. And it all starts with the very foundation of how you train.
So, let's get into section 1. Think of your workout like building a house. It's all about the architecture, the actual exercises you pick. It all comes down to knowing the difference between your foundational work and, well, the finishing touches.
And here it is, the big difference right on the screen. On the left, you've got your compound movements, squats, deadlifts, bench press. These are your heavy hitters. They call in a whole team of muscles to work together at once. That lets you lift way heavier, which sends a massive signal to your body to grow. Then, on the right, you have isolation exercises like bicep curls. They're great, but they only target one single muscle at a time. This is the absolute best way to think about it. You wouldn't try to build a house with just paint and light fixtures, would you? Of course not. You build the foundation and the walls first. Compound lifts are that foundation. Isolation moves are fantastic for carving out details or fixing weak spots, but they have to come after the heavy lifting is done. Okay, now let's talk about the tools you're using. Machines are awesome, right? They give you stability, which lets you push a muscle to its absolute limit safely. But that fixed path means all your smaller stabilizer muscles are just along for the ride. They don't have to do any work. Free weights, on the other hand, force all those little muscles to wake up and do their job, building real-world functional strength. So, what's the pro move? Start your workout with a big, heavy, compound free weight exercise. Then, when you're getting tired, move to machines to safely add more volume. But here's the thing. You could have the most perfect workout plan on the planet, and it will still fail if your head's not in the right place. And that brings us to section 2, the critical battle between your effort and your ego. For anyone just starting out, the gym can be a really intimidating place. It feels like everyone else knows exactly what they're doing, but let me tell you a little secret. That huge guy in the corner deadlifting what looks like a small car, I guarantee you 9 times out of 10, he would be happy to give you a spot or a quick tip. Why? Because he was a beginner once too. Seriously, think of it this way. Asking for help isn't a sign of weakness. It's a strategy. It's a cheat code. One little piece of advice from someone with experience can literally save you months of wasted time, bad habits, and maybe even a nasty injury. It is a shortcut to getting better, faster, and safer. And this leads us to what is, without a doubt, the single most important rule for building muscle: progressive overload. It sounds complicated, but it's super simple. If your workouts don't get harder over time, your body has absolutely no reason to change. So if you bench press 135 pounds for 8 reps this week, next week you need to aim for 9 reps, or maybe try 140 pounds. You have to give your body a reason to get stronger. But, and this is a huge but, progressive overload is not an excuse for ego lifting. This quote says it all, doesn't it? The goal is to challenge the muscle, not just to move a weight from point A to point B. When you throw on weight you can't actually handle, your form goes out the window, your joints take a beating, and the muscle you're trying to work does less. Remember, clean reps build muscle, ego reps build injuries. So how do you actually do it the right way? It's a simple 3-step dance. Step 1, master the movement with perfect, clean form. Step 2, pick a weight that is genuinely hard but still allows you to keep that perfect form. And step 3, once that feels solid, you can start to gradually add a little more weight, or maybe just one more rep. That's it. That is smart, sustainable progress. Okay, so you've got the right exercises, the right mindset, a plan for getting stronger. You're all set, right? Well, not quite. Because the hour you spend in the gym is only half the story. Your real progress, that's built in the other 23 hours of the day. This is just a hard truth we all have to accept. Motivation is an emotion. It's fleeting. It comes and goes. And if you only go to the gym on the days you feel like it, you're not going to get the results you want. You're treating fitness like a hobby, and you're going to get hobby-level results. The real secret, the actual engine for growth, is just consistency. It's about showing up even when you don't want to, long after that first wave of motivation is gone. It's about stacking those workouts one after another, day after day, until the results are just impossible to ignore. That's the real cheat code. Now here's a super easy fix that makes a massive difference. Water. Your body is mostly water, and when you train, you lose it fast. Not drinking enough is like hitting the Nerf button on your own performance. Your focus disappears, you start to cramp up, and suddenly, every weight feels 10 pounds heavier. The solution? It's so simple. Bring a water bottle and actually drink from it.
You've heard it a million times, but it's true. You cannot out-train a bad diet. And when it comes to muscle, protein is absolutely non-negotiable. If you are serious about getting bigger and stronger, this is your magic number. You want to aim for 1.6 to 2.0 grams of protein for every kilogram you weigh every single day.
Here's the best way to think about it. Lifting weights is the signal. You're telling your body, hey, we need to get stronger. But protein provides the tools, the actual raw materials your body uses to rebuild your muscles bigger and stronger than they were before. No protein means no recovery, and no recovery means no growth. It really is that simple.
Okay, this brings us to our final section. And you know what? It's probably the most important one of all. This is about taking everything we've talked about and learning how to apply it to the only person who really matters in this equation, you. Let's be real. The fitness world is a mess of conflicting advice. One influencer tells you to do high volume, another says lift super heavy. One expert says you need carbs, the next one says carbs are the devil. So who's right? Who are you supposed to trust? The answer is, you have to learn to trust yourself. You have to build your own filter. Understand that while the basic principles, like progressive overload, are universal, every single body is different. What works for someone else might not be the best thing for you. So test things out. Pay close attention to how your body feels and responds, and be really, really skeptical of anyone giving out advice who doesn't look like they follow it themselves. And that, right there, is the ultimate goal. This whole journey isn't about finding some perfect guru to follow for the rest of your life. It's about learning the rules, experimenting for yourself, and listening to your own body until you become the world's #1 expert on what works for you.